In this video, I'm going to give you 5 quick and simple settings to change on your Sony ZV-E10 II to help improve your photos and videos and overall just give you a better experience with this camera. Now, just right off the bat, I want to say none of these are complete game-changing settings or anything like that, but I'm confident they will just overall help your experience with this camera, and some of them are kind of just hidden deep into the settings menu. So I hope these settings help you out, but without further ado, let's just get right into it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to change in this camera is the overheat settings. And so this is going to be all the way down in the setup menu over here, and then we're going to go over to power setting option right here, and then you got auto power off temperature, either standard or high. And so this one you're going to want to change from standard up to high. And so essentially what this is going to do is allow the camera to get a little bit warmer before it decides to shut off and not let you record anymore if it starts to overheat. And so super simple, even if you've never had overheating issues, I would set this to high still. It's just pretty much going to be one extra thing that you won't really have to worry about. Alright, next up, this one has to do with the photo settings, so just make sure you're switched into the photo mode at the top of the camera. And then you're going to go down to the shooting menu and then over to page number 6, which is shutter/silent. And so the setting we're going to change here is release without card. We're going to disable that. And so I'm pretty sure the standard setting for this is enabled, which means if you don't have an SD card in this camera, it's still going to let you take photos and it'll still auto review them and show them on your screen. But after that, it's not going to save the photo at all, even though it sounds like it's taking it, because of course you don't have an SD card in the camera. Now in this situation, it's still going to say on the screen that there's no SD card inserted, but if it's just something that you're not thinking about in the moment, you go out, you can hear it taking pictures, you see the pictures showing up on your screen, during the auto review of them, it's possible that you could just not even think about it and just assume it's working fine and assume you have an SD card. However, if you go ahead and disable this, when there's no SD card in the camera, it won't even let you take a photo. It'll actually pop up on the screen every time you try to hit the shutter button that it cannot open the shutter since the memory card is not inserted like you see right here. Just so that you know right off the bat that there's no SD card inserted, you can't take photos, you gotta put an SD card in your camera. Alright, next up we're gonna switch back to the video settings, and then we're gonna go down to this shooting menu right here, go over to marker display, and then down to aspect marker right here, and we're gonna set that to 9:16. And so where this is going to help you out is if you shoot any sort of vertical content or vertical videos for, YouTube Shorts, TikToks, Instagram, things like that, but also want to shoot horizontally like what I'm doing right here, what this is going to do is essentially show up a marker on the screen to help you frame for your vertical videos while you're recording just standard horizontal videos like this. And so if you set this aspect marker to 9:16, it's not always going to show up on the screen. You actually have to go up to marker display up here. So if I turn that on, you can see right here, there's now these 2 vertical lines on the screen. And so this is just going to show your vertical content aspect ratio, and you can even add this to your function menu to make it even easier to turn it on and off whenever you need it. Alright, next up, this one's going to help you save your battery and get even longer runtime out of this camera. And so for this one, you're going to go all the way down to network settings right here, and then down to page 8, network options, and you're gonna go ahead and turn on airplane mode. Now only enable this when you don't plan on wirelessly connecting this to your phone or something like that. With airplane mode enabled, none of your wireless options and connecting to the app or anything like that are gonna work, but it won't affect anything else in your camera. If you just use this like a normal camera without connecting it to your phone or an external device, it's still gonna work exactly the same, but it's just gonna save you a little bit extra battery and just not use that extra juice trying to search for devices. Alright, lastly, we're gonna go down to the setup menu and go over to operation customize, and then we're gonna go down to different set for still/movie. So go ahead and click on that, press OK, and then we're gonna go ahead and just select all of these, or if you just want to select some of them. So essentially anything on here that's check mark, it'll save the setting differently whether you're in the photo or the video mode of this camera. And so 90% of the time when I'm recording video, I have the ISO set at 800, I have my shutter speed set at 1/48, and really any other settings that I almost always have set the same for recording videos. As soon as I change to photo mode, I can change those however I want to, and they're not going to overlap. Once I switch back to video mode, they'll be exactly how I left them. Of course, this is kind of a personal preference thing, and you might want them to stay the same when you switch back and forth, but it's something that has definitely helped my experience with this camera, so I just wanted to show it to you as well. There we go, that's it for 5 quick and simple settings to change on your ZV-E10 Mark II. If this video helped you out, please consider dropping a like and subscribing to my channel. And also, I'm going to link all the other videos I have about this camera down in the description so you can check those out. But that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.